If we can help an organization build a product and an organizational brand experience worth talking about, the marketing becomes a relatively straightforward exercise. We're not cramming something down somebody's throat. We're actually just trying to play matchmaker between an audience that wants something and a company or an organization that provides it.
87% of professionals believe the term public relations will not describe what they do in the next 5 years. Also, 60% of agency executives believe PR and marketing will become more aligned in the future.
Welcome to the Inside Forbes Councils podcast. Each episode shares transformative insights and advice from members of Forbes Councils, a group of invitation-only communities for successful executives and entrepreneurs. This is Inside Forbes Councils.
Welcome to episode 19 of the Inside Forbes Councils podcast. My name is Stephen Ganoza. As technologies change, so do PR and digital agencies. Today, Forbes Councils members Jesse Marble and Glenn Gray will discuss how PR and marketing companies have evolved from the days of Mad Men and what marketing actually means today. Glenn Gray is Vice President of Buffalo.Agency. He's going to discuss how and why public relations agencies are evolving.
Hello, my name is Glenn Gray and I'm a Vice President at Buffalo.Agency. We are a fully integrated digital marketing and PR agency specializing in golf, sports, travel, and lifestyle segments based in the Washington, D.C. area. Within our company, I focus on account servicing and business development specific to golf industry associations, youth sports organizations, and consumer products. Today, I want to share with you why and how public relations agencies are evolving. You may have come across my recent article on Forbes.com. It's no secret that firms, even our own, are shifting. No matter the size of clients, business and consumer habits are changing, and it's imperative to stay ahead of the curve. First, let's take a look at the landscape. 87% of professionals believe the term public relations will not describe what they do in the next 5 years. Also, 60% of agency executives believe PR and marketing will become more aligned in the future. LinkedIn estimates there are more than 12,000 PR companies in the U.S. alone. There are supposedly 100,000 people employed in PR, which generates about $13 billion in annual revenue. The Public Relations Society of America cites 22,000 members. In total, there are 120,000 marketing firms in the U.S. and 500,000 worldwide. So is it safe to assume that only 10% of U.S. firms focus solely on PR? This could be a statistic that reveals where PR firms are headed. Buffalo Agency was once a PR-only shop and now offers fully integrated marketing services. And this shift occurred in the last 4 to 5 years. Secondly, what is the expanded skill set that agencies are looking for? These disciplines are wide-ranging: content creation, corporate communications, events, executive coaching, internal communications, social media, reputation management, and more. Technical abilities that are sought by recruiters include research, creative writing, campaign development, and others. These broader skills can be used to develop more unique and innovative pitches as well as delivery methods to media with the result of increased earned media. Can your agency develop creative visuals in-house? This is an added bonus and can streamline efficiencies. Want to get broader reach from your publicity? Paid social has become a necessary evil for firms to offer to their PR clients via boosted posts. Third, the challenge in recent years has been media fragmentation. Is the growth rate of television slowing or just shifting on how we consume it? Media outlets are shrinking staff sizes, and this requires PR professionals to be more creative with securing publicity for partners. Fourth, social media influence. No surprise here. Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter have all seen continued growth and no longer just a novel idea for the PR industry to admire and monitor, but to actually implement into client relationships. Some PR associates might not want to be active on social personally, but should still be adept professionally as an important skill set. Twitter is a primary social channel for media members, so agency colleagues should use it as a tool to connect with them in hopes of building a relationship and placing future stories. How have all of these items evolved Buffalo.Agency? Well, we began as a PR firm 17 years ago, exclusive to golf. Since then, with industry shifts and market demands, we are now a global, full-service marketing firm and credit our success to broadening our offerings beyond PR and strategy to social media, creative, paid search, SEO, content creation, and data analytics. Through strategic acquisitions and hiring specific areas of expertise, while continually training and advancing our staff, we have exploded from 25 to 60 plus functional experts in less than 3 years. The diverse background and skill sets of my colleagues is exciting to see in action, and certainly to learn from as well. Additionally, smart infrastructure growth has opened doors to new segments such as fitness, outdoor, soccer, and other sports categories while expanding our leadership in the golf industry. So what's next for the PR industry? The lines between third-party journalism and consumer journalism are blurred, so companies looking for external assistance must review firms with a strong focus on both media and adjacent marketing disciplines. PR will always be important, but its impact can be amplified with digital and social programs. Thanks for listening today. You can learn more about marketing best practices, data, insights, and trends by following me on Twitter at Glenn C. Gray. That's Glenn, Glenn, C-Gray. Thank you.
This is Inside Forbes Councils. We'll be right back.
Are you a successful executive or entrepreneur with insights to share? Learn more about our invitation-only communities at ForbesCouncils.com. Forbes Councils members have the opportunity to collaborate with fellow business leaders to overcome challenges and create new opportunities. Members also have access to support benefits that help them save time and money, and a platform, Community Voice, on Forbes.com, through which they can amplify their voices and exchange ideas. See if you qualify at ForbesCouncils.com.
Jesse Marble is CMO of Magneti. He's going to discuss how the marketing industry has evolved as a descendant of the Mad Men era, and how branding is much more than just creative and content. Nowadays, he says, everything is marketing.
I'm Jesse Marble. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer of Magneti, and we're a marketing agency. We specialize in essentially brand and digital. So we are a digital shop, but we carry kind of through that whole process, we carry a real brand-heavy perspective. And a lot of agencies are good at boosting email open rates, for example, but sometimes they are not great at understanding the product that they're actually selling for the client. And that's something we really obsess over, is this kind of holistic perspective towards growth. We see a lot of agencies that are very deliverables focused. So we'll build you a website, we'll build you a identity, we'll build you a brand and everything that could mean. But sometimes a lot of agencies are not particularly invested in the results, outcomes, or growth that comes along with that. The irony is that's what most of our clients are asking for. Help us grow using these things. And so we have this more holistic perspective that if we can help an organization build a product and an organizational brand experience worth talking about, the marketing becomes a relatively straightforward exercise. We're not cramming something down somebody's throat. We're actually just trying to play matchmaker between an audience that wants something and a company or an organization that provides it. So something that we noticed with digital agencies was that they were tactically and technically proficient in so many channels and platforms, and that's really powerful. But what we saw oftentimes, there were these problems upstream that were affecting marketing performance that so many digital agencies kind of refused to address, like the brand, or maybe the product offering itself is going to affect the marketing performance. And so what we found was we were these digital marketers who had this skill set in digital, but so many factors were driving our performance, we wanted to start affecting those factors as well. And brand is the term we use to describe the entire experience, all the perceptions that an organization owns. And when we want to build a great marketing experience and we want to be able to drive traffic and leads and revenue, there's a lot of forces that we need to have our hands in. And so we kind of honestly stumbled into this through our work, that we were digital marketers who kept chasing problems upstream and found that having a more holistic perspective on marketing was what our clients wanted and what actually drove the downstream marketing results as well. So rewind, thinking about this kind of in the context of our industry. If you look at kind of the Mad Men era, awesome television show. Don Draper is kind of this sexy creative director at an ad firm on Madison Avenue in New York City. And if you think about the way that word of mouth worked pre-technology, that is what drives the difference between old school advertising and modern digital marketing. If you had a product, imagine it was ketchup, and you wanted to sell more product, you would go to the Mad Men and they would come up with some cool slogan or campaign idea, creative. And based on your budget, they would put that in front of as many people as possible. And so the advertising view of the world is optimized around creativity and spend. These are the two things that we can control. And the agency itself can't lots of times control the budget, but they can control creativity. So ad agencies were optimized around the best artists and the best writers because creativity was what they could maximize. Fast forward through kind of the proliferation of technology, specifically social media. We now, in 2018, we're totally used to this. We can opt into and out of any message that we want. We can TiVo past commercials. We can look on Yelp to see what restaurant that we want to go to based on other reviews. We can look at Google reviews. There's all these ways that we get to control the message. So the control of the brand message itself has shifted to being controlled by the company and the ad agency to being controlled by the audience. And as marketers, we have lost control of the ability to say, this is exactly what our product does, and this is exactly what I want you to believe about it. So now, because of the pace of word of mouth, and because of the proliferation of reviews and opt-in technology, consumers have so much more control over the messages that they hear, and brands, instead of getting to shove their way in front of people, instead have to create an organization worth talking about. And that is not just an ad campaign. That is everything. If you look at what happened, was this a year ago when this poor fella got drug off of a United flight? Those images within 12 hours were all over the world. I mean, this was huge international news that this fellow was not supposed to be on the plane, refused to get off the plane, had blood pouring down his face. That has nothing to do with an ad campaign. That has nothing to do with marketing. It has to do with customer service and their policies towards how they handle getting somebody off a plane. That was a huge marketing event, a marketing moment for that airline, and it had nothing to do with advertising. It had nothing to do with creativity and everything to do with how they actually treated people. So the irony is that marketers used to be this real creative-driven industry. And that's still important now. We still have a mandate to tell stories in a creative way. But the irony is that marketers are now asked to help build an organization that is worth talking about, so that those stories, those ad campaigns, those email campaigns, that social media content is true. It has to be true. Because in the ad agency view of the world, if you lied about your ketchup, there just weren't the word of mouth mechanisms via technology to share that rapidly. Now, something happens, you find out instantly. So it's better to build an organization that's true, that's meaningful, that's distinct, that's authentic. All that has to be real. And that's what marketing has become, is this much more holistic view, not just can I shove my message in front of more people? It's, can we build an organization worth talking about? And that's this kind of macro narrative that we really ascribe to. Is marketing used to be about creativity. And now it's about understanding your customers so well that you can build something that they care about, such that when the time comes for you to market, that those stories are resonating really well. At the end of the day, we are still a marketing agency, and that's 100% true. We're still delivering content in channels to tell stories to audiences, and that's what most marketing agencies do. I think the unique perspective that we've seen we bring is that the story is drastically different when it can be real and true. And so oftentimes we are working on the upstream organizational dynamics to let our marketing be true. So for example, we have gotten really involved in a category of work that we call a brand roll-in. So after you do some brand work, brand strategy work, there's the brand roll in and the brand roll out. Roll out is the term most people think of. That's you're going to change your signage and you're going to rewrap your vehicles and you're going to hand everybody new business cards and redo your email signatures, et cetera, et cetera. All that is public facing. But because we believe that a brand is something that's lived out, brand is everything. Marketing is everything. How you answer the phone is a brand experience. And so roll in is just that process of getting everybody internally aligned around those perceptions we're trying to own. Because like Richard Branson says, I love this quote. I'm going to butcher it. Sorry, Richard. He says, I'm not customer first. I'm employee first because I know it's the employees that create the customer experience. That perspective is very rooted in how we build brands because we believe it's the employees that we need to get aligned first around all of these values and perceptions we're trying to build. So a recent example of this, we had a tech company, a tech startup that was hired. They hired Magneti to come in, and we were going to do all sorts of digital marketing stuff with landing pages and emails and outreach, social media. We had video content, all kinds of stuff. Within a couple of months, we realized the product that we were supposed to be marketing, promoting, was not what we all thought it was. And so then, again, we take on this interesting perspective that maybe our job is to help build a product or organization worth talking about. And so focusing on research and even some product ideas with the team, that once we figure that stuff out, then the marketing downstream becomes a lot more clear. So that's a really recent example. Another common, this is really common for digital agencies where we're trying to drive traffic. We've got a big nonprofit client. We're doing all sorts of campaigns across all kinds of channels. But what we found was that once the leads came in via our work to the website, their sales team was really poorly built to handle those leads. So again, we're not able to drive the revenue we want. And so we ended up, now we're not in charge of building a sales organization, but we were able to speak deeply into the types of processes, systems, content, collateral for the sales team to be able to convert the leads that we produced. That was a nonprofit organization. They take donations and they sell product. And they were seeing on that product side, kind of scratching their head going, man, we're doing all this work, but we're not closing deals. And it was because they had a completely convoluted, confusing sales process that they were using once we produced the leads. We really love getting to work with organizations that want to build something worth talking about. And so if you're interested in working with Magneti, we'd love to chat with you. Our website is www.magneti.com.
Today, PR agencies need to be more holistic, and the scope of marketing is expanding to encompass the entire experience of a brand. Content creation is essential, but it is not the end of the story. Think about how you are approaching your PR marketing strategy and ask yourself if you are considering the overall brand and customer experience. I'd like to thank Glenn Gray and Jesse Marble for contributing their insights. We'll see you on the next episode.
This has been Inside Forbes Councils. Please be sure to subscribe to us on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. If you're a member of the Forbes Councils and would like to participate in our podcast series, please email your member concierge. If you're interested in joining a Forbes Council, learn more at ForbesCouncils.com.